What are the key to learn a language? And what are the key especially to learn French? Bienvenue, welcome, bienvenido at the French Formula channel. This is Aurélie, je m'appelle Aurélie, and today we are doing day 5 or a 30 days challenge of showing up every day on YouTube to teach you something new about the French language. Today the topic is a little bit different. I'm not going to cover vocab or conjugation or grammar. I'm going to talk about mindset, because this is really what's going to matter in your success during your French learning journey. So if you don't know me yet, I teach French since many years now. I'm also a DELF examiner. Creating content for students is really something that I love to do. I create podcast episodes, video content, and much more. So if you want to dive into all the good content that I have for you, you can check out in the caption below thefrenchformula.com. And of course, subscribe to this channel, like that you know every time I go live. So you already know, for the month of October, like I said, I will show up every day and give you something for you to think about and cultivate during your learning journey. Okay, so, and if you have any question, please use the chat below. I will answer to your question or your comment to the best of my ability. So, like I said in the intro, what are the keys to learn a language? Well, I will present four things on my hand. I was supposed to do 3, but this morning I got inspired by a very famous teacher, which is Ollie Richard. I saw something on his Instagram page and I'm like, whoa, I have to share that too. This is awesome. So it's actually going to be 4 key for this short motivational lesson. Okay? So let me share here my whiteboard. All right, so if you think like you have an idea of what changed your mindset for the French when you learn French, please let me know in the comment below what helped you. This is what I'm going to share today with you. First of all, it's okay and is even important to be in the unknown. Sorry for my English, if I'm making you spell English, let me know. I call it being in the blurry. It's basically that you have to accept that you have to be in this blurry zone, this foggy zone, that you won't know, you won't understand, you are going to be frustrated. This is absolutely normal, okay? You have to accept that. It's really a mindset shift. The first time you will hear real French conversation, you will be like, whoa, this is totally different than when I'm in French class. When you're in French class, whether it's in a group class or in a private class, you are getting used to your teacher voice and your classmate voices, okay? Or whoever you are following on social media, any teacher that is teaching you the language, you are getting familiar. Now, when you get to talk with different people, you'll be like, whoa, there's different accent, there's different just voices. And that creates the fact that you will be in the unknown. You will be like, I don't understand what this person is saying. And it's okay. It is absolutely okay. And it's actually something very, very good for your brain, because you are creating new neurological path in your brain, because your brain has to figure it out how it's going to interpret what is hearing or what is reading. Okay, so you actually working your brain like a muscle. If you go to work out, this is exactly what's happening. If you start a new workout or a new movement, your body will be like at first, I don't know what you're asking me to do. The muscle will be like, what is that? And then the more you do it, then you get used to it. You will be more familiar. But you have to accept to be in the unknown. This is a phase that you cannot skip, and it actually is very healthy. Okay? Being frustrated is a part of the learning process. You will probably finish some classes I know some of our students, sometimes they finish the classes and at the end they're just like, ugh, I didn't like this class because my brain didn't get it. And it's the same for me when I study Spanish, because I'm learning Spanish currently with an amazing teacher called Yasmin. There is some classes I don't feel good afterwards. I'm just like, I don't think I got it for this one. But it's okay, because later on, things will get together. Okay? Okay, so accept to be in the unknown. Accept what your brain is capable of and is going to click. So something that you hear one time, two times, might not click yet. But after the third time, the fourth time, then your brain is going to be like, I kind of recognize that, right? Okay, the second thing is what we call the spiral learning. Okay, so you know what is a spiral? It's like you always go back. Okay, spiral. What is the spiral learning? It's basically your brain will not retain everything 100% the first time. It's absolutely normal. It's so much information. Your brain is not a hard drive when you can just collect information. You have to reactivate the learning that you have done probably 3 months from now, 6 months from now, 1 year from now. Okay? So that's absolutely normal. I will give you a quick example. If you have learned already, if you have this stage already, or if you have learned passé composé, that will make sense for you. When you start your French learning journey, you will certainly start with the verb to be and to have, être and avoir, okay? To simply introduce yourself. By the way, I have 2 amazing videos on this topic, the verb to be, the verb to have, to know the conjugation, and I also have a video about how to introduce yourself. So those are the basic verbs that you need to know. Check out this channel right after this live to get those cool lessons. So basically, this is the verb you have to learn by heart because they are regular from the get-go. Now, you're gonna move on, and maybe 6, 8, 10 months after learning French consistently, you will start learning about passé composé. Well, guess what? Être and avoir will go back in the game because you have to know how to conjugate être and avoir in present tense to build the formula of your passé composé. So you probably will have to go back to that. This is what we call the spiral learning, which is absolutely normal. Don't expect from your brain to retain all those information. It's not because you learn it one time that you will remember it for life, but you will get the process. The third one, and this one is very, very important, is embrace your mistakes. What does it mean? That means that making mistakes is actually very positive, right? Why it's positive to make mistake? Because you're trying. You are trying to make sentences. You are trying to communicate. And yes, you will make mistake. You cannot have your perfect French from the get-go. Give me 1 second. We actually have a question from some or a comment. You actually answer my question. Today I had the same feeling and thought while learning. Thanks a ton. I am so happy you are sharing your feeling and thank you for that. Because it's not always easy, right? Maybe you can tell us more. What are you learning? Are you learning French? Are you learning another language? I am guessing that the feeling is about the frustration, as I mentioned that you have to be in the blurry and it's okay sometimes to kind of be lost. It's just we have to be confident in our brain. So I would love for you to tell us a little bit more about that and having this conversation, because I think having other learners sharing their experience make other learners that right now are just watching, help them to feel confident. So thank you so much for sharing that. Going back to giving you some time to reply if you want to. If you don't want, That's fine. Thank you already for this comment. Yeah, you're learning French. Okay, that's good. Okay, from time. Are you learning French by yourself, or what are you doing? What are the tools that you are using? I'll be curious because maybe I can help you with some of the frustration that you might encounter. Giving you some time to reply, I will just go back to embracing the mistake. Okay, making mistake is very positive because that means that you are trying. Okay, we are not trying to be perfect. We are trying to communicate. And even though you are making mistakes, people will understand you as long as you have the structure of the sentence and the keyword that will allow the conversation to flow. Okay, so sometimes we have this big blockage, how can I say that in English, like we stuck on something. Oh, I don't have the right ending of the conjugation. Oh, I don't have the right way of pronouncing this word. It's okay, because most of what you're saying will be understood. Most of the time we really underestimate our level in French. We usually know more than we think, but we have to keep going forward. We still have to make mistakes. I'll give you two very simple examples. Right now, I'm doing this live in English. I bet for sure an English speakers probably can watch this live and has already checked 5 or 10 mistakes that I have made. And it's okay, because I can still get my message across. Second thing, while I practice my Spanish, I know I do a ton of mistakes. Still, I am able to communicate with people that speak Spanish here in Miami, because we have a huge community, and also when I travel, I got the chance to travel to Cuba and I was able to communicate with people. I know I made plenty of mistakes, but guess what? I was trying. When I was learning Arabic, when I live in Yemen, I did my best also to communicate, because people from the country, when you speak their language, they appreciate that and they respect you for that, because you are embracing their language and their culture. So please make a mistake instead of just going to France, for example, to Paris, and speak English. I'm sure you will enjoy the experience way more, even though you make mistakes. And the fourth one that I'm going to share with you, that is not from me, but I was inspired by Ollie Richards, that has this account called I Will Teach You a Language. He has amazing content. He talked about baby learning, how we are envying the way that baby are learning, right? Saying, oh, they just learn a language without struggle. It's just so natural for them. And learning, look at this mistake right here. And this is very interesting what he's saying, because he talk about the fact, first of all, a baby take at least to his childhood up to 10 years to kind of like master his own native language. That take up to 10 years to have all the words and the right way to structure a sentence. Okay, when we talk about speaking, so for writing, especially if you're French native, telling you right now, I'm teaching French speaker kids, so they speak French, they're born with French language. We are working on conjugation and grammar like you do, trust me, even though this is their first language. So, all right, so don't forget this perspective, it takes time. Second thing that he said that is very interesting is that baby and kids, they don't stop to listen, and listen. Their parents, their caregiver, they are always talking to them with the cute voice. They talking to them with high pitch. So they have the emotion that go with the language. So they are sucking up. They are sucking up the language 100% of their time. So we cannot envy baby learning because they're actually going through a lot. But what we can do is to listen the language as much as we can. Hi, Malcolm. I'm so happy to see you're here. Malcolm Emmanuel has an amazing program coming up soon. We actually made it live, 2 years from now? I don't remember. Talking about also the way of learning a language. It was an amazing collab. And I know we're gonna do some stuff together soon. So check out Malcolm Emmanuel. His program is called GAB, Language. Correct me, please, Malcolm, if this is wrong, or just put your information in the comment. That would be amazing. What I was saying. All right, listen. This is what baby are doing when they're learning their own native language. You can do that too. This is absolutely at your reach. And for that, I recommend, of course, movie, music, and also podcast episode. That's why I have created this content. This is one of my favorite tools, because you can hear those conversations that I create, and you can also download after the worksheet with transcript of the audio of the conversation. So after your brain puts stuff together that your ears got, all right, they listen, then you will be able to read the text. You will be able to read the words and listen again and see how, because as you know, French is not pronounced as is written. It's an amazing tool to put stuff together. So I invite you to check frenchformula.com/podcast. The worksheets are all free. So listen. And if you find other platform, podcasts, TV, radio, please, you can do that during what we call your dead time. You are in your car, you are in your commute, you are in your shower, you are cooking. All this time, you don't need your eyes, you don't need your hands, you just need your ears. Use this time to listen French as much as possible. Going back to your comment, SM, I am learning on my own, and sometimes it seems I'm not making progress in speaking and writing. Please suggest something for speaking and writing. Thanks in advance. Okay, so you are learning on your own. So that's one thing. I think you have to start looking for a community of French learner like you. Because it's good to study on your own, because it's on your own schedule, right? But you also need to be surrounded by people that are learning like you. Don't need to look for French people or French speakers, native speakers. There is so many French learner everywhere. And I'm guessing because you put the Indian flag that you are in India. In India, there is a lot of Francophile people that love the French language. On Instagram, I see a lot of people, whatever it's Indian French teacher or just people learning. I would suggest you to start looking for a tribe, for a community around you with who you will be able to practice. Because when you see I'm not making any progress in speaking, you won't, because you are alone. Speaking is when you are with other. Writing, you can do that on your own, but you will need somebody that give you comment and correction. So I think for you will be to open your word and use this language that you're learning to open your word. That's the whole thing. If you're learning language on your own to stay in your bubble, it's not going to be effective. Okay? Yeah, sure, going to share with my friend. Okay. So even though your friends are speaking, they are learning French like you, it's okay. Create a pod, create this little thing, or you're all together and you're practicing. Maybe you do a coffee club, or you do like a reading club. You choose a text that you all are going to read, and once a week you're gonna meet and you're gonna discuss about what you read, what you think, etc. So create this environment for you to exchange with other French learners. I think that will be the best way for you to feel that you are making progress. So I hope that helped. Malcolm, always here to support other creator. I'm really happy you're here too. If you have any other question, please leave them in the comment. I will read them after the live. So just to summarize, today we talked about mindset, being okay to be lost in the language, and trusting your brain to connect things. We talk about spiral learning. It's okay to go back to stuff that you have learned 6 months, 1 year from now, even years after. Embrace your mistake. It's okay, because it's very positive to make mistakes, that means that you are trying, and this is from your mistake that you will correct, that you can grow and improve. And the fourth one is the baby learning, that we cannot envy baby because it's a long process also for them, but they have a lot of help, all right, with the way we communicate with them. What you have to remember from this point is that listening is the key for you to really improve your listening comprehension, and then how you will be able to communicate, because you enrich your vocabulary. I wish you a pleasant day. I hope you like this little motivational lesson. We are meeting tomorrow, Saturday, at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. And we are going to start about vocabulary. So the whole next week, what I start actually on Saturday. So the topic of week 2, starting tomorrow, will be all about vocab. Okay, vocabulary. So we are going to cover different topic. Once again, check out thefrenchformula.com for more content. If you like this video, give a thumbs up. It helped me, of course, but it also helped other French learners to discover this channel and learn from those little video that I'm making for you guys. I wish you a pleasant rest of the day or beginning of the day, wherever you are on this planet. You take care. Et je vous dis à demain, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Bye.